Welcome back to Jin's Cosmic. They initiate a process I call selective erasure.
The curse of absolute recall. Scorpio doesn't just remember what you did, they remember the exact frequency of the pain you caused. To them, betrayal isn't a one-time event. It's a permanent glitch in the matrix of their trust. Are they actually seeking revenge, or are they simply unable to extinguish the fire you started in their soul? Welcome back to Jin's Cosmic. In our last transmission, we explored the Silent Fortress. Today, we're heading into the basement of that fortress, the place where Scorpio archives every scar. For a Scorpio, loyalty is the most expensive currency in the universe, and if you hand them a counterfeit, they don't just walk away. They initiate a process I call selective erasure. Why is it that a Scorpio never forgets? And is their revenge a form of justice, or a life sentence they've accidentally given themselves? The Anatomy of Betrayal, Beyond the Act. In the American psyche, we are taught to define betrayal by the grand gesture, the dramatic affair, the stolen money, or the public backstab. But for Scorpio, the grand gesture is just a symptom. To them, the real betrayal is much more subtle and far more lethal. It begins the exact millisecond you stop being real. Scorpio operates on a frequency of absolute transparency. They can smell a performative mask from a mile away. When you trade your truth for comfort, you haven't just lied. You've signaled to the Scorpio that you are no longer a safe harbor for their depth. The air signs. About Gemini and Libra, the structural crack. For the social architects of the Zodiac, communication is fluid. If you are a Gemini or a Libra, you might view a white lie as social grease, a way to keep the peace or remain flexible in a complex world. You think you're being polite, Scorpio thinks you're being a ghost. To a Scorpio, that minor omission or social tweak isn't harmless. It's a structural crack in your soul. They wonder, if you can lie about the small things to keep me happy, what else are you capable of faking? In their eyes, your flexibility is just another word for instability. The fire signs, about Aries and Sagittarius, the reckless disregard. Fire signs live for the heat of the moment. If you are an Aries or a Sag, you might see your sudden impulsiveness or blunt honesty as just being yourself, a raw expression of your freedom. But Scorpio views this through a much darker lens. To them, your refusal to consider the consequences of your actions is a reckless disregard for the depth of the bond. They've invested their entire being into the connection, and when you act without thought, you're telling the Scorpio that their emotional investment is worth less than your momentary whim. The observation, the psychological lab. When a Scorpio senses this shift, they don't give you the satisfaction of an explosion. There is no screaming, no plate smashing, no immediate confrontation. Instead, they retreat into a terrifying, surgical stillness. They observe. They watch you drown in your own web of lies, giving you just enough rope to hang yourself with. This is the moment the Silent Fortress transforms into a psychological lab. They are no longer your partner or your friend. They are a scientist dissecting the fragments of your character. They are looking at the data, weighing your history against your current deception, and running a cold internal audit to decide one thing. Do you even deserve to exist in their reality anymore? By the time they actually speak, the trial is already over and you've likely already been erased. Total erasure. The world fears Scorpio revenge, but they don't understand its true nature. Their most lethal weapon isn't an attack, it's total erasure. Scorpio has the unique, chilling ability to cut someone out of their life as if that person was never born. They revoke every ounce of energy and every privilege you once held. You could be standing right in front of them, but their eyes will look through you like you are a ghost, a hollow space where a human used to be. This is existential warfare. They don't need to hurt you. The void they leave behind will do the work for them. The Phoenix Protocol, Alchemy Through the Dark. Here is the secret we discuss here at Jin's Cosmic. Scorpio doesn't hold on to grudges because they are malicious. They hold on because they are all in. Their revenge is actually a desperate attempt to burn the past so they can be reborn. But to truly become the Phoenix, Scorpio must eventually drop the blade they are holding, because that blade makes their own hands bleed long before it ever touches the enemy. True power isn't in remembering forever. It's in becoming so evolved that the darkness of the betrayer can no longer reach your orbit. Rebirth from the ash. A Scorpio's memory is a double-edged sword. It is a gift of protection that ensures they never trip over the same stone twice. But if left unchecked, it can easily become a prison of ash. There is a fine line between remembering for safety and reliving for suffering. You have every right to guard your sanctuary and to keep the gates of your fortress locked against those who prove they don't belong. But you must ask yourself, is your fire still keeping you warm, or is it just burning down everything you're trying to build next? Don't let the smoke from the past consume the oxygen of your future. Many Scorpios spend years meticulously tending to the embers of an old betrayal, unknowingly suffocating the new growth that is trying to take root in their life. You were never meant to be a static entity. You were born to be the architect of transformation. You are the only sign in the Zodiac capable of dying 1,000 deaths in one lifetime and coming back stronger every single time. Stop acting as a monument to old wounds. Your scars are not your identity, they are the blueprints of your survival. The ultimate revenge isn't a clever plot or a cold shoulder. It is the act of becoming so unrecognizably evolved that your past self wouldn't even know how to talk to you. The phoenix doesn't sit in the ashes mourning the bird it used to be. It rises because it knows that the fire was the only way to get its wings. Have you ever felt the total erasure of a Scorpio? Or are you a Scorpio currently burning a bridge to save your soul? Let's talk about the dark alchemy of trust in the comments. Subscribe to Jin's Cosmic as we continue to descend into the mysteries of the deep.